Hi everyone, my name is Brandon Moore and I'm going to show you guys my mini-ethnography presentation. I'm also going to discuss mini-ethnography and also how meaning is decoded by audience members who have engaged in media text. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys to show you my presentation and then we can get started from there. So you should be able to see it. I'm going to actually make this a slideshow, make it more interesting. So let's get started. Mini-ethnography is defined as a process of learning from people about aspects of their lives through defining questions, interviewing informants, analyzing observations, and presenting findings over a short period of time. This project discusses how meaning is decoded by audience members who have engaged in media text. That's the introduction. Next, we have my research question. So I watched the Our Lives Matter PSA produced by Root Strong. And my research question was, how does the Our Lives Matter PSA disrupt the impact media has on racism among different media consumers? So as far as the discussion method, I chose interviews. So interviews are the most efficient way to engage with people in their own context and allow them to explain how they see things. So I've conducted 3 separate interviews for the study to obtain insight about the respondents' opinions about the PSA. And then my participants included people in different age groups and races that use different types of media. So I had someone who used Twitter, someone who used Facebook, and then someone who watches the news often. So those different forms of media. Um, and then my participants are viewers, of course, of the Our Lives Matter PSA and active social media members. So in the audience, in everyday life, living in a media world, the author sums up the direction that media continues to take, which is constrained cultural creativity. So according to Elizabeth Bird, as audiences, we are or can be creative, taking images and ideas provided by the media and doing many unexpected things with them. Yet we are also constrained by the boundaries placed around the meaning of those media products and by the choices that are available to us. So the audience participants in my study are both active and passive. I would say more so passive, but I will discuss that further on down the line. So my method best answered my research question since it gave me insights to 3 different forms of media, different races, and determining whether my audience members are passive and active. Having people in different races using different forms of media was a great way for me to gather different opinions in different situations. Everyone was kind of different and unique in their own way, and they provided their own answers based on their own media use. So I think that was conducting interviews is a great way to find out more about my research question and how these participants can relate to it. So as far as analysis and interpretation, so a thematic analysis is one of the most common forms of analysis within qualitative research. It emphasizes identifying, analyzing, and interpreting patterns of meaning with qualitative data. So I've actually used the qualitative data from my audio recording. So when I interviewed these people, I recorded it and I listed my participants below. So one participant was an African-American male who was 28, who used Twitter often. So he uses Twitter all day, not only scrolling, but the timeline, but also tweets all day. And as an active Twitter user, his point of view is that the PSA disrupts the impact media has on racism by creating trending topics on Twitter. So these trending topics cause users to stop and pay attention to issues of social injustice and even engage in discussing the issue, disrupting the impact media has on racism. Another participant was a Caucasian male who was 38. He used Facebook a lot, so he uses Facebook more than any other social media channel. And according to him, public service announcements have the potential to go viral and receive tons of likes and comments. This attention disrupts the impact racism has among different consumers. So pretty much his take was, because this PSA was on Facebook and because it had the potential to get so many likes and so many comments, that definitely is a disruption to the impact media has on racism. It'll allow people to see more of an issue probably, or be exposed to an issue since that tweet or that Facebook post has gone viral. So that was his take on the research question. And then my last participant was a Latino male who was 33, who watched the news a lot. So he watches the news every day and experiences what events go on in the real world. According to him, the Our Lives Matter PSA has very little impact on the news since the news covers day-to-day issues and hardships. Sorry, I have a dog and he's chewing on something. 1 second. Sorry about that. So According to him, the All Lives Matter PSA has very little impact on the news since the news covers day-to-day issues and hardships that occur in the world. A public service announcement is hardly noticed. So in the creative brief, as far as the audience, I've identified that the PSA is talking to racist, crooked cops, police departments, countries, and cities that remain racist, and anyone who promotes social injustice. Since these participants are, which are active audience members, so the racist, crooked cops, etc., those are all active audience members. Since these participants, which are my participants that I've interviewed, are on the other end of the violence, these participants are passive audience members. So the PSA isn't directly talking to them, but it does want to raise awareness, and it wants to talk to as many people that it can reach to change the issue. So as far as new research, immediately after the interview, transcribing the recording, which is useful data, helps me understand any nuances that I might have missed during the interview, and the next step is to find data I missed. And then here is my references page, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.